What's up? Well, back at recording again since me and my editor have finally found a way to send the videos to each other properly without them glitching or doing something, so let's get straight into the what if then. Okay, so first I will cover Deku's abilities. His abilities for right now are Time Warp, where it allows him to warp to a certain place in time, but his restriction is it can be within the last day. So basically, and as well, I forgot to say this, he has a day cooldown. So 24-hour cooldown. So theoretically, say, I don't know, he's in a villain attack, and he needs to go back 3 hours so he can prevent something. Yeah, that's something you can do. Now I gotta pause for a second. So yeah, that's theoretically what you can do. I'm sorry, I had to pause there. My annoying little brother came and interrupted me. Anyway, that's Time Warp. Reverse Time is, as it sounds, he can reverse time, but no, he cannot reverse time on the world or anything. He can just reverse time on objects and people, basically. Think of Ares' quirk, kind of. Like, he could reverse time on someone so much that they reverse infancy. Or he can forward time so much that they're an old man. Or he could let me think of something. Throw a seed down and forward time on it so much that it's a full-grown tree now. Or, reverse time on a building before it was built, or forward time so much that it has collapsed already, or, something. Next ability, I've written down turn up time, but I'll just rewrite it to say forward time. It's the same as the last one, but, forwarding time. Yeah, the thing about the tree and the building really were more forward time, not reverse time, I just realized. Yeah, I'm dumb, but whatever. Then stop time. He can, when he first gets his ability, he can stop time for about 10 seconds. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what he can do currently. With Time Warp, he can go back maximum 5 minutes. Reverse time, he can reverse time on something for about a minute tops. And forwarding time, same thing, 1 minute max. That's what he can do as a 5-year-old. Alright, let's get into the actual what if. The quirk doctor says to Izuku, we have found out what your quirk is, but you need to be careful with it. It is very, very dangerous, depending on how you use it. Inko asks the quirk doctor, what do you mean his quirk could be very dangerous? I mean, me and his father's quirk is just, what are their quirks? Fire breathing and, let me pause it. Levitating small objects towards me. So how does quirk be so dangerous? The quirk doctor responds to Inko saying, well, your son's quirk is a mutation from those two quirks. It's just not an exact mutation. His ability is time manipulation from what we've seen. We've only seen this once before from a hero from 70 years ago, but he can only reverse time on an object by 20 minutes. His main ability for being a hero was combat. So, Zuko, I hope you can do better than that hero. Maybe your quirk is an evolved version of his. We don't know. All we know is that it has similar genes to that quirk. That's all we know for right now. Izuku is confused, like, time manipulation? What is that? Oh, fuck, that's a horrible voice for Izuku as a child, but ignore that happened. I'll just... No, not ignore, fuck. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not used to recording. I haven't written a script down fully because I went into my nearest city and got the COVID vaccine. So my arm hurts like hell, but I'm feeling fine, don't worry. But yeah, anyway, let's get on with it. Izuku is ecstatic of having a quirk, but he doesn't exactly know what time manipulation is. So he asks the quirk doctor, so, what's time manipulation? The quirk doctor responds with, well, time manipulation is more of, okay, just see that apple right there? Focus on it and imagine it going back in time. So I'm going to take a bite out of it. Think of it when it was not bitten, okay? The quirk doctor now takes a bite of the apple and shows it to Deku. Deku tries to think of it and focuses his energy on the apple to reverse time on it. He's thinking, and he reverses time on it. But accidentally, he reverses time on it to when it was a seed, because he can't control it at all. Then he tries to think of it as the apple again, and he forwards time on it to when it's an apple. It's done. He forwarded time to when it was an apple. The quirk doctor is astounded by it. So he tells them, okay, come back in 2 weeks so we can have a quirk review, I guess. I guess that is what it would be called. So we can check on how your quirk's progressing. In that 2 to 3 weeks time period, Deku went to school, or whatever you'd call it, with Bakugo, and this time I'm going to randomize it. I have a thing in front of me that randomizes it. I have put in 12 characters for my hero, villains, heroes, well, not heroes, but the villains and students, to see who is going to be Bakugo and Deku's friend. Because I think that's what I'm going to do nearly every what if. Just add an extra person to the friendship. So, let's spin it. Alrighty. Denki. Okay. I'm not sure if I've done this one, but yeah, the third friend between Bakugo and Izuku is Denki Kaminari. This should be fun. I actually really like Denki. Well, I think in the past I didn't like him. Just recently I've thought of a lot of ways to make him pretty cool. Yeah, all these 12 characters, I've thought of ways to make them like really, really powerful, like Bakugo and Deku. So, let's get on with it. In that 2 weeks, Bakugo, Denki, and Deku just meet up at each other's houses like nothing's wrong. Denki has not discovered his quirk yet. He thinks he's quirkless, but Bakugo and Deku don't think he's quirkless because, well, they think they've seen his quirk, but really they haven't. They just think he can cause other people to be stupid. Because every time he talks, the people he talks to become stupid. Like, for example, he was talking to his teacher just saying, "Hey, there's a bird behind you." And the teacher just, looks behind him and says, "Oh yeah, there is a bird." Wait, no, there isn't. What the fuck? So, yeah, they think Denki's quirk is to make other people stupid. But by the third week, Deku reveals his quirk as electricity, and they're like, oh, that makes more sense. And yeah, Deku goes back to the quirk doctor, gets his quirk reviewed, and everything is alright. It's progressing how a normal quirk would be, so now, he's now 5 years old, so there's time limit that he's set upon himself, and what he can actually control is time warp, he has not discovered yet. Reverse time and forward time is the only thing he's discovered. And you can do both of those for about a minute. Or 2. Well, I'll just stick with a minute, though. So, he finally revealed his quirk to Bakugo and Denki, saying he can reverse and forward time. So, he throws a stick. He throws it pretty far. I'd say maybe 5 meters, since he's just a kid. No, let's just go 4 meters, because he's a kid. He's not trying to throw it, like, really far. He's just throwing it. Or no, he's just tossing it. So, he then focuses on the stick to when it was already in his hand. So he reverses time on the stick, and it's now in his hands again. But it flies to his hands. It doesn't appear in his hands, it flies to him. So Bakugo thinks, Deku, or Izuku, you realize that if that was like a knife, you could throw it at a villain, reverse time on it, have it in your hands, and just keep doing that. Just reverse and forward, reverse forward. Or you could throw it into it, if it gets stuck, you could reverse time so it's in your hand again. Deku's like, oh yeah, I could do that. So he yeets the stick as far as he can. And, well, it goes pretty far for a 5-year-old. It goes 10 meters. So, he goes, okay, now, Denki, stand in front of it. He's like, okay. He reverses time, so it hits Denki on the head, and then back to his hands. Denki goes, oh, what the fuck? What was that? He's confused because he doesn't know what the fuck happened. He wasn't paying attention. He says, do you have the force or something? He goes, no, I have time a bit. Oh, I'm dumb. And yes, I will be making these kids curse because I curse a lot. And yeah. Yeah, I know it's weird, but whatever. Anyway, I have 5-6 minutes before I have to stop recording, so I'll try to do this a bit more so that at least they're at the sludge and I don't know. I think that's where I'll stop. Okay, so Deku, Denki, and Bakugo are now in middle school. It's not the last day, but they're in middle school. They're one of the more popular students because Bakugo is about the same strength as he is in the anime. Denki is a little bit stronger, not by much, but his strength now is comparable to what he was in the tournament arc, or I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I'll just call it the tournament arc when they're like, the school festival arc. I think. Fuck, I can't remember. But yeah, that's how strong he is. Bakugo is about the same strength as he was in the actual anime where he is now. And Deku is, well, I don't have a measure for him since there's no person in My Hero who actually has time manipulation. So I'll just say his physical strength is pretty strong. I'll just say it's equivalent to a top boxer, like Conor McGregor. I'll just say him. I don't really know any other boxers really, so I'll just say Deku's full strength as a 12-year-old is equivalent to Conor McGregor's full strength. So, yeah, they're pretty popular. Like everyone knows them, but not everyone likes them. One kid who has dark energy. shadow manipulation, let's just say. He can control shadows into, like, he can create them into weapons, blah, 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 and stuff like that. So he challenges another manipulator, is what he calls, people with something manipulation. So he challenges Deku to a manipulate battle. Deku obviously says, sure, you can try. Because Deku's gotten pretty strong. Now his reverse time, forwarding time, and stop time are about, the maximum is about 10-15 minutes on each. The stopping time is about 10 minutes only. I'd say reverse time is 15 and forwarding time is 10. Yeah, that sounds about accurate. Sorry, your friend just texted. Oh, fuck, what was I saying? Okay, yeah. The other kid I'm gonna call... I'm gonna think of a random name from an anime. Killua. From Hunter x Hunter. I'll just use his name. So, Killua throws up a shadow dagger. So he kicks it, or he jumps using his shadows and kicks it over to Deku. Deku is smart, so he reverses time on the shadow dagger, and the shadow dagger now hits Killua, and Killua is on the ground crying. Not crying, but angry, because his own move was used against him. So, Deku then stops time. He goes, by the way, this is by accident. He stops time by accident, and he's like, holy fuck. What is going on? He walks over to Killua and is like, Killua? You alright there? Thinking that Killua's doing a thing on him, like a trick on him, he starts punching Killua in the stomach. About 3 or 4 times per arm. So he goes back to where he was standing. He learns that he's stopped time, so he unpauses time. Killua is now knocked out from the pain. Everyone's like, what the hell just happened? Later on, Deku explains to Bakugo and Denki that he stopped time, but they think he's joking, so he stops time, walks behind them, unpauses them, and then he says, boo. They get scared. They think he teleported and not stopped time, but he says he stopped time and not teleported. So he tells them to touch him in the shoulder, or to hold on to him, so that when he stops time, they come with him. But Bakugo doesn't go with him. It's Denki that goes with him, because Deku can only bring one person to paused time. So, yeah. This is pretty much the end of it, but I will just keep going for a little bit. Since my dog keeps barking. But, yeah. So yeah, Denki sees that Deku can pause time. Deku unpauses time, and Denki tries to explain it the best he can to Bakugo, and they understand. And now it's the first day of school. Last day of middle school. Anyway, that's all I have time for today, so see you guys.